You're coming out of the channel, you're on a boat. You cannot see because this thing is built like this. So you come out of the channel, and when you come out, sometimes you'd have to reverse back into the channel because this is another reason of cheaping out because if you look, the natural spot for this breakwater to be would be out right there. That would make more sense. Out where the channel is.
Right.
Yeah, so that you can launch in here, and then you don't have a blind spot, but you can use the channel to go out there. You know, when you put it in here, you go out and you got a blind spot. So many boats get lost over here.
So when they put this thing in,
yeah,
it made it worse?
No, it made it better, but it made it better than what it was, but it wasn't. It was put in the wrong place because it would have taken more money to put it where it should have been.
Oh, right.
Out at the point, because you get on bay like that, you don't put it in here, you put it out there because that's where the force. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But before the 2018 lava flow that stopped right there, all these trees are all luscious. Those are, for some reason, the Kamani trees. You see all the bare stuff?
Yeah.
Those are all Kamani trees. They're like, if you look right there's a live Kamani tree, but all of these was all Kamani. You see that big tree right there?
Yeah.
They're all skeletons.
Oh.
Because they couldn't weather the sulfuric acid. Yeah.
Wow. Well, so what was the budget for this thing?
Originally, to do it right, to mine this whole thing would have been $38 million, and then they got 5.9, so they're creating like a channel. You see where the fence goes out there?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's going to be kind of narrow because you see the stakes right here?
Yeah.
That's where they're going to have that's
oh.
Yeah.
So all this is going to stay?
Looks like it because they would have exposed it already. You see where the flag is right there?
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
So they already hit sea level right there.
I see that. It's moist.
It's moist and it's kind of low tide right now, so it'll rise up and it'll turn into water right there. Because it's gotten even wetter since I've been here since.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 6 this morning.
Wow.
Yeah, you see this entrance right here. I mean, theoretically, you think it's wide, but there's no place. The waves used to go all the way into that bay right there. Now the waves won't have any place to escape, so it'll go up to that barrier and come back here. So it'll create a surge in there.
Ooh.
But you know, they're doing it just to appease all the people that have been saying, what about us, what about us, because this was 2018. It's been 7 years without action. Yeah. Kenzie Parker, I say, what? I'm saying, no, you can do it, you can do it. So we packed lunches and water, and he carried a backpack, and I paddled, and he and I paddled over here. There had been no sand at that time. It was just like the bay, undisturbed, nobody around, so quiet, no cars, and it was like a lovely session.
From Mackenzie you paddled?
Yeah, at 72 years old, and it was quite a feat. And we surfed for an hour and a half, came in, ate lunch, and he said, Dad, one more session. I said, oh no, kind of saving my energy to paddle back. He said, no, come on, look at this, the wave's so good. So we surfed the second session. So about 3 hours of surfing, intense surfing to ourselves, and then we paddled back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually hiked from Mackenzie here.
Yeah.
Before they put the road in.
Oh yeah.
So over that flow,
that
was pretty brutal.
Yeah, that was our second. So when right after that, like the week after that, the Hawaiians carved out their trail and they put white rock so that we went and bought hiking boots, and then we started hiking in. And then Billy Canoy paved over those 3 floors.
Yep.
But he kept the gate closed, so then we bought mountain bikes and we biked in. Yeah. And then after that, they opened the gate and then we drove in. And we did that all the way to, you know, this thing became unsurfable. Yeah. Third bay, that bay right down there, the one with the real big waves,
Yeah.
that didn't have sand at first. Now the sand goes all the way. You see that far point now?
Yep.
The sand goes all the way to that point.
Yeah, I walked down there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. You didn't get stopped by the Howard family? You're lucky. So right from that where that first coconut tree, that's the Holly property. So they safeguard a old ancient heiau, Mahina Aka Aka. It stands for see the moon clearly. Aka Aka is sea, and then Mahina is moon. So it was a fishing and agricultural heiau. Yeah. And it's got a beautiful pond on the side, but people come in there and they party when they're not there. So they built a stone wall because guys used to drive right onto their property.
Oh.
Yeah. So usually when they're there, they'll hassle people. Hey, you cannot walk here, but you know this is accredited land, so by right it's state land. So anybody has access, but they've been policing the area because the people bring in pallets and burn them for bonfires and leave all the nails there.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. There's people got no respect.
Nope.
Yeah. Some people, I mean.
Some people.
Yeah. And this house right here got totally restored. It's over 100 years old. Built in 1900s, early 1900s. And it looked just like that, but it was falling apart. And then they hired a carpenter to build it from the inside out so nobody would notice.
I heard that.
Yeah.
That's how they did it.
Yeah, that's how they did it. So the thing, everything in the house is new, the floors and everything, but it was kind of dangerous to even walk in there because the wood flooring was all really falling apart. So yeah, that's this thing was all AmFac land. AmFac is one of the big fives, and they own all this land all the way to the point right here. And so these family had a good arable land up in Malamaki, and so AmFac gave them a 100-year lease. 100-year lease that expired in 2000. They negotiated and actually got to buy it.
Oh, wow.
But they were here 100 years on a 99-year lease in exchange for letting them use the AmFac letting them use the property up north. That's how they got here. So this half acre, it's only a half acre in this whole, from the corner all the way to the point. 33 acres was owned by the sugar company. And then when AmFac downscaled Puna Sugar, they ran Puna Sugar in KL. When they downsized that, all their lands became up for sale. So these guys, Henderson Forestry from Washington State, bought up all these lands as an investment. And so this was destined to be developed. So I sat on the public open space and natural resources land that buys land with our tax dollars. And we actually bought this, the county bought this, and Ida Smith somehow carved out 7 acres out there. She owned this whole property, but in the back there's a pond right there. She owned this whole property, and there's a natural pond back there, hot pond, that people could potentially drown in and it'd be their liability. So when we did the county, we carved out 7.6 acres right there and left the rest of the 28. So all of this is in county, all county property, except for that lot there is only 7,500 square feet with a access through the county property.
So the county owns that pond?
Yeah, now, yeah, they
Okay,
took over.
for
So
liability.
right from that coconut tree,
Yeah.
all the way to that coconut tree,
Yeah.
right to the right of that part, that's all county land.
Oh,
all the
okay.
way up to the road.
Except for that.
Except for this, 7,500 square feet. Yeah.
Wow.
And so we me and the ex-mayor Billy Kenoy worked on it because
Wow.
I'm from this side, so that was my contribution to.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Pretty interesting history there. Right there.
Well, that big concrete building up there, was that a coffee thing?
There's a coffee mill because they used to mill the coffee. There's a big chimney. They used to have a roaster, and then this was just an open bay. It didn't have any of this. It was just an open bay. They still used canoes at that time, so they would bring a barge in here, and they'd have a winch, and they winch like a boat to the shore, and they load the coffee and then winch it out to the boat, and then they load it on the boat and sail out. Yeah.
Wow.
Whole stop. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, and there was a railroad that went right by. The railroad went right to the coffee mill and went along the road, went up the hill and connected to Pohoiki. A railroad.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, all the way.
What?
That's why we got so many railroad avenues. Yeah. So we have a railroad avenue in Kapoho. It goes all the way up, and then through every subdivision, Nana Valley, there's a railroad, and then during this lava flow, Billy connected Railroad Avenue all the way. So that'd be a second.
Oh yeah, I
access
actually
route.
drove that when they opened it
Yeah, when they
for
opened it.
practice or whatever.
Yeah.
Through Nana Valley. That was
Right.
interesting.
Nana Valley going all the way to HPP and
Yep.
all the way. Yeah.
Wow. Lots of change.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing place.